Welcome to another episode of Ultima Final Fantasy, the ultimate Final Fantasy podcast. I am Joe.
I am Caleb.
And today, ladies and gentlemen, a review of the Cup Noodle from Nissin, starring, is it Nissin? Nissin, maybe? Okay.
Whatever. We're not Japanese.
Whatever
so
the hell
fuck
it is.
off.
I don't think that's a Japanese name.
Is it? What is it then?
I don't know, but two
Chinese.
S's and anyway, I'll find out. Don't worry, I'll do my research right before the segment. Anyway, it stars some Dissidia characters, some Final Fantasy characters on here. I got cup noodles with shrimp that has lightning on it.
Naturally.
Then I got another one with, what is that? Cecil? Who the hell is that?
It's Warrior of Light.
Warrior of Light. Okay, sorry. Look, he doesn't look like that in the game I played.
That's true. It's vastly different for Final Fantasy.
And he's on the beef flavored, and then I got one chicken flavored with Cloud here.
Oh, so Cloud's a chicken.
Yeah.
No, you know what they should have done? They should have done Zell for chicken because he's a chicken wuss. You know.
Yeah.
If they would have really cared, that's what they would have done.
So this is kind of a joke episode. So we're just going to have some fun with it.
Yeah, we were supposed to read the last part of the Turks Are All Right, but I didn't read a single line of the last section. And
I was going to, but I had hell day yesterday at FedEx. So, and honestly, 2 days before that, I just had a horrible week at work. Schweiss.
Yeah.
So this morning I had a few ideas. One of them's a really good idea that we're going to save for another episode. The other one was a more limited time thing.
Yeah, that's right.
We don't know how long we're going to get these Final Fantasy flavored ramen.
Yeah, I'm gonna need to go collect them because I have that Final Fantasy 15 cola.
Oh,
that was
it'll
released.
all be part of your collection.
Yeah, my foodstuffs quest.
You're
That's
gonna
what
put
it'll
some
be.
cup noodles in between your
That's right,
your action
yeah.
figures and your mega collectible versions.
I'm gonna put them on top because those matter more.
Oh.
I think Square probably gets more money out of the cup noodle crossover. Than,
Oh, okay.
Actually, you know what? I bet you the cup noodle place actually makes the money. I don't think Square gets anything for it. They're probably like, yeah, sure, whatever.
No, Square gets advertising, so there's some sort of trade here.
There is, but I mean, honestly, it doesn't really do anything. Like, I just don't believe that it does. I don't believe.
I think when I was a kid, I was eating a lot of ramen, but when I was a kid, like the advertising on the back of cereal and stuff, I mean, that like let you know what was happening, as a kid.
Yeah, I guess.
I'm saying.
So, like, poor college students are going to be like, man, I sure wish I could afford Final Fantasy right now.
I sure wish I could play this $60 game that everybody hates.
Yeah, I'm real let down with my life because I can't get Dissidia NT.
Oh my gosh, Nissin Foods is a Japanese company. They make instant noodles, and they got a whole freaking building to themselves somehow. This company that sells things for like 25 cents a piece.
Hey, man, you sell enough, you buy a building.
That's true. There's that old meme going around for the last 10 years. It's been like the ramen truck was tipped over. And it's like total damage done to company of $43.
Yeah.
It is tough. Like, would you even make your money back if you had a whole truck? You probably have to bundle ramen with other things when you're doing distribution.
Yeah, probably. I mean, I'm
Probably.
sure they make money every single time, obviously, but
It's too cheap of a food item,
yeah, I've honestly thought about going full ramen mode just to pay things down really fast, just like nothing but 2 meals a day ramen and then one like normal human being meal, and then just get all my nutrients from vitamins. I've thought about doing that and seeing like how
I'm sure that your hair will all stay in.
it's gonna fall out either way.
Yeah, you're just gonna make it way worse. It's
Yeah, worse. It's just natural.
I'm faster.
I'm fine with that.
Dude, honestly, I'm noticing some thinning
Yeah.
in certain places of my hair. I'm wondering if it's the weight loss, because I've heard you can lose some hair with the weight loss.
Have you been?
If I'm just getting older. My dad's got a receding hairline, but it's sort of on the sides. Of course, my grandfather, where the gene would have reportedly come from, not sure if that's 100% true. he died in Vietnam. So I have no way of knowing
Your mom's dad?
my mom's
Oh.
dad.
Well, maybe this cup noodle quest you should take as well, and we'll both go bald.
We'll both go bald.
Fuck it.
Oh man. Okay, so that's
We need Craig to go bald. That's what we need.
That's gonna
We need
be
the-
fun.
We need the egg. We need the egg.
he already
to-
looks like an egg.
Yeah, but we need it more. That's what I say.
Okay. All right. So, real quick though, our show, weekly Final Fantasy show, of course, if you're coming on to us on the Cup Noodle episode, we have been going through all of the games since 2014 very slowly.
Never go full ramen.
And by next May, we'll be done with every game titled Final Fantasy.
Yes. Yes, we will. And one titled Vagrant Story.
That's true.
Only one, though.
And you can find us at facebook.com/Ultimate Final Fantasy. You can tweet me at Joseph DeGolier.
Me at UFF Podcast.
And if you want to ask a question for our question segment part of the show, you can go to our forums. First, you got to go to ultimatefinalfantasy.com, which, by the way, we have like weekly news that Shinra's been giving us this entire time. And you can click through the forum area, join the forum, and ask us a question there. Or if you want, you can use the hashtag UFFQ. And we'll find that thing on Twitter, and that's a good way to ask your questions as well. And if you want, you can give us a ring, give us an intro or a question at 385-204-3921. That's 385-204-3921.
I totally forget we pay for that thing, but like nobody uses it.
If you want to support the show, so that we can keep paying for the phone line,
Keep paying for things we don't use. Yeah.
it's really cheap, and it's like once every 3 months that we're charged for it. So I don't think it's that big of a deal. What is it like? What does it round out to? It's like 5 something a month, or
I think it's 6. Yeah.
6 something a month. Yeah,
So it's really cheap,
not
but
too bad. Anyway, if
we
you
are
want to
essentially
support the
throwing
show,
it away.
I love I think the phone call ones are the best ones because you get to hear the voice and you don't have to hear us read a question. You know,
That's true. Yeah, I enjoy it.
Anyway,
I think we probably burned that bridge because we forgot about some of them for a really long time.
385-204-3921. Check us out there. If you want to support the show, ultimatefinalfantasy.com. You can click on our Patreon link or just find us on Patreon. We also have an Amazon link you can click through, and whatever you buy through that link will give us a small kickback, whatever the hell that is, kickback. And it won't cost you a thing. And there's also a PayPal link if you want to give it to us directly. And we also appreciate your iTunes reviews, so please do that. Schweiss,
Yes.
where are you in Vagrant Story?
You know, I grabbed the case for the game and I held it in my hand, and I did this thing that I do with foods and games where I kind of like bounced it in my hand a couple times. I like to do that. I like to do that imagining me in the olden days with like a coin purse, you know? Like I've got this sack of gold coins that I just like feel the weight of, and I'm like, no, you're not paying me enough, you know? That's what I do with my media. But I didn't open the case, not this time. Last week I did to look at it and to marvel at what the disc looks like. But this week I didn't quite do that, and that's about it. After I did that, I stuck it back on its in its place alphabetically on my shelf. One of the few organized things I have in my home, and I have not touched it since then. Yeah.
I'm honestly in a very similar position. I didn't hold the case, but I do know where it is.
Oh, that's good. We know how important that is for you.
It is very important to know where things are.
And knowing where it is, and then also making sure it's where you are. Those are two different battles.
Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes. Vagrant Story is going to have to wait about 2 weeks for me to start, so I'll play it. I'll have to beat it in about 2 weeks as well. I got some kind of good news. My short film that I worked on, it seems like ages ago now, it got into a local film festival, and we got nominated for some awards there. So I'm going to go do that this week, and that's kind of this week's deal. And so Paper Mario for Nude Clan and Vagrant Story are going to have to be pushed a week. Or not. Well, Vagrant Story doesn't have to be pushed. Paper Mario has to be pushed, and me playing Vagrant Story is going to be pushed. And I'll probably, I'm going to end up beating Vagrant Story in like 2 weeks. Same with Paper Mario. I'll have to beat them both 2 weeks each. But yeah, that won't be too big of a problem. I don't have any work or anything, so
Yeah. Well, that'll be nice.
Yeah. This time I had work. I couldn't do it. And it was just a hellish week, man. It was so bad.
How long were you there each day?
FedEx, I had 2 days this week where I was there for 13 hours.
Okay, that's more than I work.
Including yesterday. FedEx, which is where I work part-time now, is they went through some changes on in-home delivery, and their computer system was changed completely. And my boss said, hey, just come in an hour later on Saturday because we know this facility, and we know that they're not going to do anything right, and this is all going to go to hell. They were right. They were totally right. I got there at an hour. I couldn't even load my truck for like another hour. And then when I loaded my truck, I was waiting around for certain things. No one knew what the next thing to do was, so we had to figure that out once we had our trucks loaded. Then we had a manifest printed, which is a list of addresses and packages that go to the addresses, the number that corresponds to them. So we took that manifest. And then we used to have turn-by-turns, what we called them, where it would print off papers that would give you directions to each house from where you were. Sometimes they weren't accurate, but most of the time they were. And I used them because I could just basically turn my brain off, listen to whatever audiobook that I had, and I could just not have to really find addresses. Anyway, that was no longer an option, and we were trying to get this stupid system that would download our route to GPS to work, because that was like the new thing to do. The reason they're doing this change, so that FedEx can save a shitload of money on paper.
They're finally going to use the global positioning system that we've had in the sky for ages.
You could do it before,
now.
but the companies would have to supply the GPS.
Oh,
so
yeah. Such an expensive piece of material, a GPS.
A GPS that worked with FedEx's system.
I guess probably,
they have to buy a specific kind of GPS. I don't know how much it costs. But it still costs more than letting FedEx print off a bunch of paper for us to use.
That's probably true.
And of
Skull
course,
says his worked just fine.
Of course, we waited around for an hour and found out that the system that was moving it from the scanner to the GPS was not working, and that the facility had the day that they were switching over, completely shut down the system and had no way of printing off turn by turns. So now I didn't need the turn by turns twice, but I was waiting for them, and I eventually got to my route about 3 hours later than I normally would, and then I had to do my route, and I had to find all the addresses, which usually slows me down by about 2 to 4 stops an hour. I do a little slower because I have to find the addresses instead of going through the system that tells me where to find things.
So you didn't even really make that much money, and it took forever?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, when mine takes forever, I make a lot of money.
I know.
So it's nice.
I know, it is nice.
That's pretty sweet.
Unionized bastard.
Hey, I'm not in the union, but I am.
But but you're treated like you are.
I am kind of, and I still want to find someone that will give me one of their union shirts so that I could just pretend that I'm in there, so that people leave me alone.
So yeah, I was gonna do History of Square Enix this week, and I didn't have time to write it. Sorry. Or it was going to be
the Turks.
Yeah, and then
didn't have time to read it. Instead.
Didn't have time to read it, but I am going to do.
Which, since we know that listening is reading, then writing is also reading. So
you got me mixed up because this morning you thought that I was going to do History of Square Enix.
I think the history of video games is what you said. I don't remember reading anything for this show, but I remember
a confusing text. Is what
I remember
we're
you
about right now.
complaining that you're not going to have time, and I figured something like this was going to happen. And I was like, well, I need to go to bed, so whatever happens.
This was an idea we had last week. We were like, we need to do a cup noodle episode.
That's true, yeah.
So we got this.
We know it's going to taste like cup noodle, but...
Yeah. So I didn't play Vagrant Story is really what I'm saying.
I'm excited to taste that lightning shrimp, I'll tell you that.
That's a weird statement.
Yeah, I know. But I haven't had shrimp cup noodle in like a really long time because it smells like something. It just smells gross, to be honest. So I'm excited to review Lightning's shrimp cup noodle.
All right. Well, we actually got a few pieces of news, so what say we get into some of that? News. Thank you to Shinru for supplying the news this week. First off, Final Fantasy 15 is now available. Well, Noctis from Final Fantasy 15 is now available in Tekken 7. You got to go and download it though separately.
Oh, so we got another
crossover.
So I guess the guys who wrote the article on Push Square said they thought it was a lot of fun, but they still kind of feel like he's a terrible fit for Tekken 7. I don't know. I don't play Tekken.
Yeah, I don't play Tekken either.
And
Mortal Kombat only.
Definitely don't.
Mortal
have
Kombat
7.
for life.
Yeah. So.
Okay. Our next thing is that we did get an update
for Dissidia, Final Fantasy. So they made some balance adjustments to the characters: Emperor, Onion Knight, Cecil Bartz, Tina Cloud, Ultimacia, Vaughn, Noctis, Ramza, and Ace. And they also implemented character move lists in the game itself. So I guess now you can check the move list from the three-person briefing screen.
You couldn't do that before?
I guess not. I honestly,
We've
only
had that since like the last 15 years of fighting games. It's been staple. You like go into the menu, you can see what the moves are.
Yeah,
maybe not like fatalities, but you can see everything else.
Yeah, they got
lame
some character design.
Well, I guess it's good that they put it in
and whatnot. It is good, but yeah, that is kind of dumb. I don't remember when I played it recently, if it had that or not. I just did the tutorial and I think one of the story fights, but yeah,
it's okay. You're gonna eat its noodle.
I don't really like it so far. I know that's unfortunate, but I just don't care for it. But they also added the Orban Monastery stage from Tactics during this.
We saw that one last week, I think.
Yeah, so go play that, I guess. The one it's kind of an iconic stage, but really you only play it once in Tactics, so it's kind of, I don't know. But it is the one that stands out, I suppose.
The soundtrack, 84 tracks were apparently made for the DLC episodes of FF15, and they have all been put on a soundtrack, which is now available at the Japanese Square Enix eStore. So you Japanese people, go ahead and buy yourself
84?
A Blu-ray set or a CD set with Volume 2 of the Final Fantasy 15 soundtrack.
84 for just the DLC episodes?
Yeah, and it had a bunch of guest composers. Keiichi Okabe, Naoshi Mizuta, and Nobuo Uematsu, and Yasunori Mitsuda, among others. So,
cool.
Yeah, remember that. I guess that Nobuo Uematsu not so great song is probably on there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
He's got two great ones though, so we'll give him.
It's not as.
Then he's got some real trash.
Yeah.
Sorry, Eyes on Me. I will never, ever like. There's nothing to like about it. It's just a horrible, atrocious song. Sorry, guys, for bringing that up for the umpteenth time. So our dear friend Hajime Tabata, he got kind of a promotion.
Yeah, surprisingly.
Yeah.
Not surprisingly, considering how well 15 did.
Yeah, what are you talking?
I would say surprisingly for the direction of the game and him being promoted for such, but
well, the game wouldn't have been finished under someone else.
Yeah, maybe, but when it came out, it probably would have been complete instead of coming out piecemeal over the next 2 years of time. But then again, if we never got it, then I guess we couldn't say that. So that is a good point. They would have taken forever.
Anyway, he has been in charge of a new studio from Square Enix that they're putting in Tokyo, I guess. And he's the head of the studio. This is Luminous Productions. There was just a big announcement about it. Don't know what they're working on or anything like that. We just know that he's in charge.
Yeah.
I know they have their Luminous engine, so maybe that has something to do with the engine. No idea, though.
So he won't work on another. I think I read something where he said he doesn't want to work on another Final Fantasy ever again. But he will do other shit at this studio, so I guess we'll look forward to more soulless side quests for about 40 hours
You're
of
right
our
about
lives.
the side quest thing. You're right about the side quest.
Well, it's in all of the games that I've played that he's made so far too. Like, I tried to.
Now you just need Third Birthday, right?
I already played that.
Oh, you played Third Birthday?
Okay, that one doesn't really have it. That one just has a really, really terrible story. Like, just horrible. Worse than the second games by far, because it's just bad. It's just horrible. So I guess that one is not the same. But Crisis Core has like a shitload of really boring side quests. 15 has quite a few really boring side quests. Not as many as Crisis Core. And then I heard Type 0 does the same thing, but we haven't played Type 0 yet, so I don't know.
So you'll reserve judgment.
Yeah, I'll wait. It's only 2 of 4 or 2 of 3 so far that have a lot of really boring side content, and one of those that doesn't have that has just a really awful story. So
okay,
we'll see.
Final Fantasy Explorers Force has now 2 million downloads. I don't know who the hell these people are who are downloading these games. These mobile Final Fantasy games, except for the B team, of course.
Yeah, the 4 people that play them that we know of. So that's not bad since its launch in March.
Doesn't that top the sales of some of the good Final Fantasies early on?
Yeah, I mean,
doesn't that make you hurt?
It is free, though.
It is free, though. Yeah, you're right. Maybe if those Final Fantasies were free, they'd probably have lots of units shipped.
Yeah.
And lots of money lost.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely.
Apparently, FF15 Royal Edition does give Core and Luna Freya some more time. That seems to be a big deal.
Yeah. A lot of people feel like they kind of got, I guess, screwed, which is honestly, it's a weird thing to nitpick at, because a lot of what I've heard is like, oh, you guys showed me this character over and over and over, and then they didn't show up in the game, and I'm like, how attached to this are you getting here? Like, it's kind of ridiculous. Like, Square Enix does it to themselves in a way, because they can't keep things secret to save their fucking lives, so they have to tell you like something's coming, and then when it comes, they're like, boom, look at these characters, and then they cut the characters. And then everyone's like, oh, you cut him. Like, how much time did you waste on that character? You promised me that character. So, like, they do it to themselves by not keeping all that stuff private, like the, cutting out of characters. Because when you're writing a book or writing a script, you cut a lot of shit out of there. And, like, if you give all that to everybody, and then everybody, like, falls in love with part of it, and then you cut that part, I guess. But you can't expect it to remain intact throughout the entire development process, especially when that development process takes almost a decade.
Here's the thing with I know they do this in the film and television industry. I know that they definitely do it in the video game industry. They're making the trailers to sell the thing earlier than the thing is done. And there's nothing inherently wrong with that. They have to do it so that they can build up hype within a certain amount of time in order to ship a certain number of units to get their money back. That does mean, however, because they are selling something that is inherently creative, that sometimes things are just cut. So I don't know. I mean, it's sad when you see something as like great as the Leviathan cutscene that we saw in the 15 trailer. And we got Leviathan, we just got a different kind, and I thought it was equally as awesome, but very different. And there's things, like characters that, seem to have been a big deal at some point, but were cut for whatever reason. Or like maybe their amount of time that we spent on them was cut. I don't know. I don't think any of it's on purpose. I don't think they were planning this DLC long game. I really don't, Schweiss.
No, I don't either. I don't
think they were like, oh, we have all the story and we're saving it. I think that's a little bit conspiracy theory-esque. I think it's a lot more simple and stupid.
I think they did plan. I think they did plan the DLC.
I think they planned to have DLC and where to put it, but I don't know if they really had like detailed. We're gonna put in the core story.
Yeah, I think they planned. I think they planned the paid DLCs. That's it.
So
the rest of it, they realized people were upset about things because they...
And DLC is a way to fix that.
Yeah, and honestly, they kind of did it to themselves because they hamstringed themselves by saying, the game's going to come out September 29th or September 30th. And then that didn't go through. And then it's like, okay, now it's going to come out in November. And to miss that deadline would have, killed it. That would have been awful. So I think they set a deadline that was unrealistic, and then to make up for it, they decided that they were going to ask the fans what they wanted from the game, and then they were going to give them what they wanted from the game, which to me is honestly, it's kind of crazy to put that much power in the hands of these people. I guess it's fine because they were kind of planning on doing some more, and they know that they didn't supply as much as they have in the past for the games as far as backstory for certain characters and things like that. They don't really have as loose of a Final Fantasy as 15 really under their belts. A lot of the stuff is kind of covered in most of the other games, it feels like. So it's not the main bad guy you understand a little bit. I mean, there are a lot of shoo-in bad guys throughout the series.
It's tough. I think it was the Gooch who said he would never want to make a Final Fantasy in today's gaming market because the games just get bigger and bigger, and the projects just can get more and more out of hand because they're just so huge.
Yeah.
Not only just think about the world of FF15 and the cycles that they go through and the different environments, and that almost all of it you could walk through. Things like that. It was taken from Elder Scrolls and stuff like that, but it's such a rich, huge environment. The other Final Fantasies didn't have anything like that.
Yeah, they were kind of streamlined.
Preloaded areas, they were more streamlined. So they were definitely, I don't know. It's tough. It's tough to figure out what they should have worked on, what they shouldn't have.
Yeah, no, and I'm not telling them what they should have worked on.
I do think that fans, once they get the game, that's the game. Whatever was in the trailer it's moot at that point. It's like the Star Wars shit. There's stuff in the Rogue One trailer that is not.
Oh, thank God
in
for
the
that!
Rogue One movie.
I rebel line. Good God! Thanks for taking that out. That's
what will you become? There was that Forrest Whitaker monologue that wasn't in the movie at all.
Yeah.
But look. They, for whatever reason, probably good reasons. I'm gonna go on the side of good reasons.
Yeah,
that they had to cut certain things.
I mean, for as many things about 15 that I don't care for, it probably was a good reason that they cut what they did. I don't doubt that at all. And I honestly, I think it's kind of a sad situation, and it's good to listen to your base and to hear what they want from your games. But I don't think it's good to constantly change what you've already put out to fit what they want. I think that's it's too loose. It's you not protecting. I mean, it's you protecting your brand and your IP and the image of the customer and the consumer, but it's not you protecting it in your own, in your own eyes. To me, it's it's letting them decide what Final Fantasy becomes, which I don't. I really have a hard time with that because I don't really think people are that great of a judge of things that they don't make. They're not the creators, so it isn't up to them to decide what's what. But it has kind of been shifted to be up to them, and that to me is oh my God, you scared me. Thank you for that sub, Black Mage. And to me it's just the situation where they're not really. They can put out a game like 15 again, which I still think 15 is a good game. But they can put it out, and we can have all these questions about these characters, and they can later come in and say, "Oh, now Chapter 13 has more backstory for this character. You guys wanted it, we gave it to you." And now it's you should have just given it to us before. It's
I know,
it's something you should have put in the game, and you should have put it in the game because you had it on this list
Was I the only one not dying for more backstory?
I guess. About Arden though, come on, he's one of the best villains in the series, and we don't know shit about him.
There was so much on art and so much speculation that I almost thought that was cooler than
knowing.
I
guess, but World of Darkness stuff, they wanted to do more with that, but they didn't do a damn thing with it.
That's one of my top 3 complaints about that game. World of Darkness.
It's bad. It's very poorly done. It literally took me 40 minutes to get to the end.
You got this whole new world. You can't go into it. Have fun on the next part.
Yeah. I kind of like how they added the multiplayer component to that, because I think that's a great place to put that. And stuff like that is cool, and I like that they're doing things like that with the game, where they're like, you know what? The World of Darkness is going to be where all of the hunters come, which is going to be the co-op stuff in the game. Like, that's a really cool idea. But, again, there's just so much that they're adding after the fact, and it's like you got to keep coming back to the game to truly experience it. Now it's like a completely different game from what you had before, which I thought was fine before. You know, I didn't think it was bad. I thought there were a couple things that were really bad, and then the rest was good. You know, that's why it's in the middle. It's not terrible, but it's...
Well, what if we replay it and it's amazing with the DLC?
With the controls that I've seen for the Prompto one, I doubt that.
Okay.
But the story in it is supposed to be really good. I hope he puts on a nice Russian accent. He's got that fucking hat.
Okay.
But we'll see.
Yeah. Someday.
I'm fine with that.
The Royal Edition has nice artwork, by the way. I saw it in Walmart.
Yeah, it is nice. I kind of want to play 15 again, but you know what? I'll do it with my Uber file, so it'll be like a fucking
New Game Plus.
Yeah, it'll be like a 6-hour thing with the DLC. You know, I'll just crush everything. That's probably what I would do.
All right.
And maybe one day we'll see, and then maybe it will be, you know, amazing, but I'm not gonna budge on my rankings whatsoever, because like it was
what it was.
Yeah, like it's not like I'm gonna change FF7s because of the remake, you know. Like it's kind of a similar situation because they're kind of retelling the story of 15. And like adding alternate endings and stuff like that, I don't really dig either. But
yeah, that one pisses me off. That one actually does piss me off. I don't even want to think about it.
Unless it's like a ridiculous...
The ending was so damn good.
Unless it's like
mad.
A ridiculous ending where like
that?
It's you know, you're in the eye of some beast and then the beast gets felled and the whole universe is destroyed. Like something insanely over the top like that would be kind of fun. But they're probably going to just destroy the emotional ending that we got. Yeah.
Yeah, with the cleavage shot.
Yeah, that made me tear up. I was like, it's so goddamn beautiful. It's such a perfect rack.
Yeah. Okay. I think it's one more piece of news. Jeff Goldblum on a YouTube video, I guess, is judging video game characters, including Sephiroth. And I haven't actually seen this clip. I saw it. I stopped the video right before he picks up the Sephiroth thing. So let's find out what Jeff Goldblum says about Sephiroth.
Let's do it. Eventually.
When the video...
I wonder if this is that throttling that everybody was afraid of, because like Facebook and YouTube are like really painfully slow for some reason.
It's just your computer.
Maybe, but...
Give us your interpretation of them, as it were.
All right.
Yeah?
Okay, I like this.
There you go.
Okay, wow. Well, this is from the fantasy... Whoa. Well, look.
He may be compensating for something there, but we'll never know.
Did you say he or she? He?
He.
You think it's a he?
Hey, yeah.
Oh, it is? Oh, I think it's gender fluid and sort of multifaceted gender.
It's 2018.
Because I thought this lovely pixie face was there was something feminine about it. But of course...
Gorgeous hair.
Gorgeous, streaming white hair.
Yes.
I like a nice white hair. I'd like to see you when your locks grow.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm going to grow them out soon, yeah.
I think when
and then I'll stand on a cliff and just sort of have them...
I think you should, with the heath, with the Smith, and gather heath in our arms. What's that from? Wuthering Heights. Kathy.
Yeah, but we don't have to have that ending, right? Where, like, everyone's
Where you
just
die,
really...
and
everyone's miserable forever.
Everybody's
generations of miserable.
But it's tragically romantic. Kathy, haunt me, don't leave me. Haunt me forever. Anyway, she's very powerful.
Yes.
I like her big sword that she's dragging.
Excellent.
Ooh.
And then we've
I'd
got
like to
this.
see you.
Okay, so he's confused about it. They should have given him one for Kuja and had him try to figure that out. Be like, what?
That's great. I love Jeff Goldblum. I can listen to that guy talk all day long.
Yeah, he's pretty great.
It's awesome. Okay, Schweiss, let's make some Nissin Cup Noodle.
Let's do it.
Okay. I got my cup noodle beef flavored with the Warrior of Light on it, of course. I knew who he was right as soon as I saw him. Nissin Cup Noodle. It's 290 calories, Schweiss.
Ooh.
Serving size being the full container, of course. Total fat, 11 grams. Saturated fat, about 5 grams. Which is your 25% of your daily value. Total carbohydrates, 41 grams of carbohydrates in this entire package.
Damn.
With fibers only being 3 grams of that. You do get some vitamin A, some vitamin C, and some calcium. Quite a bit of iron, too. I'm opening up the package here. It says on the thing, exclusive in-game downloadable content with receipt, which, of course, I threw the hell away. Because I live in the digital age, god damn it, and I can see how much money I have left in my account right now. How to unlock exclusive in-game content. You got to buy any one Dissidia Final Fantasy NT marked cup noodle product. Save the store receipt. Text the word cup noodles. One word, apparently, to 87963. Standard text messaging rates may apply. You got to follow the text instructions to submit a photo of your receipt. It's a real pain in the ass right here.
Yeah, it's a lot of work for not a whole lot.
They could have just put a fucking code on the inside of this thing, but instead you got to text them a photo. If necessary, fold to include the retailer cup noodles line item and date of purchase. Receive your unique code to unlock the City of Final Fantasy NT content for the PS4 system, and this may take up to 48 hours. So basically, just a giant pain in the ass.
Yeah, don't do it. Is what
So
they're
don't
saying.
do it.
They're asking you to not do it.
So here's the thing with cup noodles, Schweiss. I believe that everybody cooks cup noodles in their own special way.
Yeah.
How do you, before I actually tell you the real instructions, which of course we have to do, how do you cook a cup noodle?
Well, there was a time where I cup noodled in the microwave, where I would heat up the water, and this is something I had to do at work because I didn't have a way to boil water. Really, I would pour water in it to the fill line, or a little above, and then I'd throw it in the microwave, cook it, get some nice styrofoam in with my cup
packaging
noodle
opening,
and then I would let it rest, and then I would wait. But now I make them the right way, which is, of course, to open the package. Thank you for the biddies. I open the package. You have some water on boil. You pour that boiling water into the cup noodle up to the fill line, and then you rest your spoon or your fork, because you're not an asshole and you're not using a spoon to eat cup noodles, on top of the lid, keeping the steam in, and then you wait like 5 minutes or so.
Okay. This is what you're supposed to do.
And then it's fucking delicious. Cup noodle is way better than ramen.
What the hell? No.
Yes.
No.
Yes. There's something about it. Ramen is still good, though.
No, ramen that you cook the correct way is beautiful.
I don't do
it's a beautiful thing of salty
All right,
noodle.
here's how I do ramen.
Yeah, I know you
though.
fucking do ramen wrong. Everybody who likes cup noodle more than ramen does ramen wrong.
I don't do brothy ramen. That's not my game. What I do is I boil the noodles, and then I drain the water out, and then I pour the packet of seasoning in, and I mix it in. It's so salty and awesome. Yeah. It's still pretty goddamn good, but cup noodle has the little veggies in it, man. The little chunks of shrimp, the little chunks of beef dehydrated, and it's a more rounded meal, I feel. Like ramen just has salt and noodle, whereas cup noodle has like a fucking child's handful of veggies in there. Something to add to the experience.
First off, you got to cook ramen the correct way. It's basically the same thing as cup noodle, but it's like the noodles are less plasticky, and because of the styrofoam flavoring, they don't have that
That's
anymore.
fair. The noodles are better.
The noodles are just better, and I think the flavoring is better too. And the pieces of shrimp that come with like the shrimp one or not, that's not fucking shrimp. I don't know what. We'll do our own review of this.
You don't think it's baby shrimp?
This is pre-talking about the cup noodle. By the way, in the background of this, you'll be hearing the pot slowly getting to boil before we actually open this thing up. I'll do some post-production on that. But yeah, the little pieces of plastic shrimp are also, they're like sponge things. I don't know.
They don't have much of a flavor. Yeah, that's true.
No. So the real way is to get the regular ramen packets. Now the regular ramen's great and it's fine. And yes, brothy is better than non-brothy. Are you kidding me? I don't know what's wrong with you. You got to have the flavor be the right flavor. It's got to be real hot too. Cup noodle never gets as hot as real ramen does. You know, there's something about you putting it into the styrofoam container and the styrofoam flavoring with it. I can't imagine someone liking cup noodle more than ramen. It drives me nuts that you two, your name is Caleb with a K, apparently. That's your deal.
You know, I will say though, the ramen like big meals, those are better than both of them.
Ramen big meals.
The ones where it's like the big tray.
Help me.
They're a little more expensive, and it's like a flat, and it's like a cup noodle setup, but it's like a plastic tray. And
I don't think I've ever had one of those.
Those I think are pretty good.
Okay,
it's got like kind of the best of both worlds.
This is what you do with ramen. Okay, you make ramen normal way you're supposed to make it, but when you're cooking it, when the water's boiled, you put it into the ramen thing. You got to crack an egg in there, man, and mix it up. That's like part of that gives the ramen the feel of an actual meal.
Yeah,
you got to have some egg in there. That's like a thing that you do. It's not just ramen by itself. Those packets are like they're just the staple part of the meal. The other parts of the meal you can add some mushrooms.
But then it becomes like a 50-cent meal instead of a 30-cent.
I know
meal.
That's true. But that's what you're supposed to do with ramen. This cup noodle, they always taste like styrofoam. But I mean, we'll try it. We're gonna come back and try. What do you think you'll think of the Nissin Cup Noodles?
I think I'm gonna like the chicken one and the beef one, and the shrimp one I'm gonna be disturbed by.
Okay, all right. Well, let's get cooking.
Yeah, cooking.
Got to fill the pot up. Some water. Is that enough to cover all three of them, you think?
Yeah.
Turn off the faucet.
Get a nice close-up of the...
Okay, turn on the oven up on high. That's good. Okay. Now we wait. 13, 12, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 3, 2. Oh, there it is. Let's turn that baby off.
We hope you've enjoyed this production.
Did you just have the one bowl? Where's the second bowl?
No, we're going to share a bowl.
We had to separate containers, but we had to share a bowl.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just barely washed those.
I know. There's only one on the top shelf. I didn't look elsewhere.
Okay.
Bring in the cup noodle.
Oh, you want to bring it in onto the table? Okay.
Yeah, fuck it. Shrimp goes last.
Just so you ruin your day. I'm gonna have shrimp first.
You know what? If we're gonna do it, we gotta do both of them at the same time.
Okay, hold on.
So we'll do shrimp first.
I'm gonna plug this. Okay, we're back on the regular mics, and I'm gonna spoon myself out some shrimp, and hopefully not spill a bunch on the table and ruin some equipment.
So expensive equipment.
So let me just
Spooning out about half of the shrimp. This is lightning, of course.
Do I have any shrimp in here? Is there really only one piece of shrimp in this whole damn thing?
Just grab it. Whatever comes. Get that little shrimp nugget.
Now, ramen's not a good food for separating things.
Yeah, ramen's a solo meal. It's not made for sharing.
Okay.
Honestly, dude, I kind of want to do the ramen challenge.
That'll
like
work.
a year of just ramen for 2 meals a day.
A year.
Yeah, so that I can, like,
We also
see.
have some BDSM torture going on behind us as
Yeah.
well. If you can hear that.
Can
Okay.
opener.
All right. I'm going to eat some of the shrimp. Hope you guys are ready for some of the slurping. Schweiss says he doesn't want anything to do with any Jews. What I heard. What'd you say?
The juice.
Oh, the juice?
Must be destroyed.
The juice must be destroyed, is what he said. Yeah. Juice. I know people love it when you eat on a podcast. That's something I learned.
Something we learned doing this podcast.
Something I learned during this podcast. They just freaking love it.
All right, so got the shrimp.
Oh, yeah.
So let's judge this. Let's judge it. Get a nice noodle slurp in here too. Let's see.
I gotta blow.
It's good luck to slurp noodles also, so keep that in mind.
Did you get any shrimp?
No,
Okay.
it tastes like shrimp.
Looks like
though.
I got him. I got like one full piece and then some like little tiny pieces.
So the flavor, lightning, definitely needs to wash a little more.
Wow.
I would say,
Wow.
but you know what? This is kind of the disappointing part about these things. Like we had a similar situation with the FF15 Elixir Cola, where it was just a Jones orange cream soda with a different label. They slapped a new label on it. I think it would be an amazing crossover event if they actually made like a super limited time only like different flavor of cup noodle that they're not going to do on a regular basis. They got like a random meat and they were like, you know what? This is the behemoth flavor. And it wasn't beef, it wasn't shrimp, it wasn't chicken. It was something else, like I don't know, like lamb or some shit.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and say my grade for the shrimp flavor of cup noodle, the lightning flavor, as it were. Not great. kind of bland. Nah. I'm not a big fan of that one. Let's try some of this chicken. I'm gonna pour myself out some chicken. What do you think of the shrimp flavor?
Honestly, it's not as overpowering as I assumed it would be based on the smell. But we also didn't get any of the broth really, so
Okay.
I think it's a passable meal, but I don't think I would seek out the shrimp flavor at all. So lightning is probably going to be low on my rankings for
It makes me disappointed because I love the shrimp flavor of both Maruchan and Top Ramen. And so this is just the cup noodle. The noodles actually themselves taste like the styrofoam container that they're from. Which styrofoam tastes like nothing. And so that's all it is. It's just nothing. Here, I'm going to pull on these three.
And yeah, Bruce, these are
Noodles.
Final Fantasy themed, the 15 cup noodles.
That's right. Okay. Sorry, Schweiss, you got to keep up with my eating style, which is gorge.
We doing chicken? That's what?
Yeah, I'm doing chicken. This is the one that we didn't have all the... it wasn't 100% boiled raw water, so hopefully it was hot enough, though. Okay.
So chicken is one of my favorite flavors of the ramen, but we will see how cup noodle holds up. Perhaps I will like ramen more by the end of this, because I remember what ramen tastes like, and it's not this.
I can taste the chicken flavoring in it. But once again, there's still something about them noodles, man. Of course, this is your preferred ramen. So you got to tell me what it is What, is it about the noodles?
It's about the veggies in the cup noodle that make it superior to top ramen. Although the flavor, I gotta say, it's not as good as I remember. And ramen is cheaper than cup noodle.
It is. It's like slightly harder to make because you have to have a bowl. That's the barrier to entry. If you're making them correctly. If you're not and you're just throwing it in the microwave, then I can see why you would do that. I have a feeling that would like give you cancer with all that styrofoam, but I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try just a piece of the carrot.
It's pretty
There's
bland.
only a hint of carrot in there. Only a hint of whatever life it used to have.
Yeah.
Do you think this is what cloud tastes like?
Yes, I do.
Little salty.
Slight hint of asparagus.
I dig the corn. I dig the corn on that one. I would give the shrimp flavor a D. I would give it the D. And I would give this one a solid C on my ramen scale. On my ramen scale, the top is
Oriental?
no, it's not Oriental. It's beef flavored top ramen with an egg cracked in it. Okay, that's the top. That's the A on my ramen scale.
All right.
Okay, now I'm gonna try beef. Beef has little beef.
Chunks?
Yeah, it looks like cat food. I'll leave you some beef chunks.
Don't say that. Not right before we eat it. So now we're going to get a little Warrior of Light explosion in our mouth.
Of Warrior of Life's beef.
Yeah. Instead of his life's blood, his life's beef. Oh, and some hanging noodles.
I'll hand those. You got it?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I don't want to spill it.
Yeah.
Okay, there's quite a bit more stuff in this one than the chicken or the shrimp. It might have just been a luck of the draw, though. Kind of like the shrimp flavor thing only had a shrimp and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very disappointing. I like the little shrimps. Shrimp is one of the seafoods that I could just eat endlessly and be happy.
Actual real shrimp, not styrofoam shrimp.
I could probably eat styrofoam shrimp too, but I would much rather eat real shrimp endlessly.
All right. Beef flavored Nissin.
All right, diving in here. I gotta get some nice mixing sounds. Like a lot of cool.
This is a stronger flavor, so I like that. Covers up the lack of flavor from the noodles a little bit better.
I wouldn't say it's the ultimate flavor experience, but what I would say is that it's a passable flavor experience. Perhaps
the most passable flavor experience.
Yeah, perhaps it's the lack of behemoth meat that makes me feel this way. But I gotta say, not as good as I remember, and that's something I've noticed while doing Atkins. Like every time I break the diet for something, I'm like, man, that is not as good as I remembered it being.
Have you ever had anyone tell you to stop doing Atkins and do keto?
It's basically it's the same thing though.
Then you could go. It's the same fucking diet.
Yeah,
It's just a new name for it. New cool name.
Yeah, I mean Atkins. My Atkins, I don't eat veggies at all. Because why do you go on a diet where you eat meat and then eat a bunch of vegetables? Like, what the fuck is that about?
Oh, okay. Now I've gotten to the beef chunks here. Pretty much tastes like nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think this is clearly the superior of the three, though. Beef, they put a lot more flavor into.
Yeah, it's more salty.
A little more salt, a little more on
There's more chunks.
the toppings.
Yeah.
We've got some more corn. This is a big ass chunk of carrot right here, compared to what I got before.
Get that ramen. I'm giving beef
Let it hit every taste bud.
all 10,000 taste buds.
Yeah, all 10,000 taste buds.
I'm gonna go ahead and give that one a C+. Just a little bit better.
So A is your beef.
A little bit better than the
beef top ramen.
Top ramen cooked, like really cooked, not microwave or not in a styrofoam thing. Cooked with it's basically egg drop soup with ramen in it, honestly. But yeah, that's my A on the ramen scale. As far as ramen I've had, no. The U.S. is not a place where you get ramen normally at a restaurant. There's places in Asia that you can. I've never been to Asia, so maybe that might change if I go to Asia and I have some real ramen.
Because ramen isn't just what we know it as here in the States. It's not
which
just
is
the
cheap ass terrible food.
Yeah, it can
Hey,
be
kiddo,
just
stay
regular.
back there. It's too late.
Damn it, go.
Your nudity cannot be here. But gotta say though, yeah, it's not.
Sorry, the kid walked by.
Yeah, he's not wearing much. So it's I need to retry top ramen because I used to like the cup noodle more, and now I'm tasting it, and I do like the fact that they have the added stuff in there. You know, you've got the corn chunks, you've got the chunks of celery or whatever the fuck else is in here. Some fucking nonsense. It's not celery, but
Oh shit! I just lost the word for whatever that is.
some sort of
It's
leaf.
it's like onion. It's like green onion.
Chives.
Chives.
Yeah. Chives in here. So I mean that's
Thank
a
you.
nice it's a nice touch, but the flavor packets, they have the flavor.
They have the flavor punch.
They do, yeah. And have you ever had ramen where you fucking you'd like pull it out of the package and you just drop the powder on top of it and you eat it raw?
I did that as a teenager. I also did get fat as a teenager. So
I did do that, yeah. And then
there's a connection.
I also broke up the ramen and then I poured the packet in there and I shook it in the bag and then I ate it like chips almost.
I have done that as
That is
well.
another ramen method. That one can be a salty surprise at times. You can get really overtaken by the salt on occasion. You just hit a big packet.
Salty surprise.
Yeah.
What's your grades?
I'm gonna go B- for the shrimp. Or not shrimp, for the beef.
Okay.
I'll go C, a standard flat C for the chicken.
So for the beef, you gave it a B.
B-,
For the
yeah.
chicken, you give it a C.
A C, and then I'm gonna go.
Seeing a pattern here.
I'm gonna go D+ for the shrimp.
D+
Like, it's fine,
for the shrimp.
but it's not really that shrimpy, and I kind of like the taste of shrimp a lot.
so it's kind of disappointing that one doesn't have it, and it has that seafoody smell. So like you expect it to have a bit of a shrimp punch, but lightning just doesn't bring the thunder. Lightning just does not bring the thunder this time.
How long were you on that one?
I honestly just came up with it.
Okay,
I just started
all right.
now. I wish it was something
Did you
I was
just stumble
holding.
into that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. She just didn't bring it this
Lightning
time.
didn't
No.
bring the thunder.
It was just a strike and silence afterwards.
Oh my
so.
god! All right, well, guys, go get yourself some cup noodle if
While you can.
want to get your random ass
Final Fantasy
Dissidia
marketing.
shit. Maybe you can add the cup noodle to your collection. I don't know.
Yeah. If you got that 15 elixir, I
Yeah.
still have 2. I think
If you
in
got
my
those
fridge.
15 cents, you should be able to handle this too.
Yeah, I think your pocketbook can, in fact, handle this crossover. There are some that no one
I think
can
you
handle
can earn this money by just walking,
on the street.
finding some pennies here and there.
Yeah, you could literally buy it from the street.
Yeah, that's
This
good.
ramen.
That's a good thing to end on.
Mm-hmm.
The entirety of the ramen cooking will be on the back end of this episode. If you want to wait until after the credits.
Of course, yeah.
Otherwise, Schweiss, let's get to some questions.
Let's do it.
All right, well, I totally had a totally different question pulled up before, but we can answer that one instead.
Well, we got multiple ones.
We got a few questions here. A couple from the forums, and then we'll pick one or two from Twitter.
All right. So first up, we have Really 511. It says it's titled Final Fantasy Theme Park. Hey guys, it's been forever. I've been busy chasing my culinary dream, but I am still listening to you guys whenever I can. Yeah, I guess he's going on the gourmand quest.
Guys, I've been binging.
Yeah, I haven't had time for your goddamn
I haven't had
forum.
time.
So my question, if a Final Fantasy theme park was made and you guys were put in charge of it, what would you add to it? Okay, I would have to have a ride similar to the rocket from the theme park here in Utah. It's one that just launches you up in the air and then drops you really quickly.
Would that be like the which Final Fantasy-esque vehicle would it be? Or
that would be Final Fantasy VIII,
the launch,
the fucking revolver chamber
rocket
that shoots you into space. Yeah, that's what that would be. I might actually make that the bungee one, where like you're in a chamber of a gun and then it just like clicks and then it shoots out. You're in that little orb that's got the slingshot ride. I could make that one as well.
That one's a good one.
I think that would
That's
be
a good
fucking
one to
sweet.
do.
Yeah, giant revolver just.
Oh man. See, now you just finished the ride. I would
the whole
have
park. There's just 40 of
Sephiroth's
those.
katana made into a giant water slide, maybe.
Oh, okay, and slide down it.
Yeah, you slide down it.
Yeah, like the one they have here at like Seven Peaks. That's like ridiculous.
Yeah, just like that.
Okay.
Just
Would you have just the katana, or
it would be
Sephiroth?
a giant Sephiroth, and then you slide down the giant. I mean, this is a really expensive making ride.
Extremely,
You can't like redo a normal ride that way. You'd have to build the giant Sephiroth.
The Colossus of Sephiroth.
Yeah, dude.
Okay, all right. So we have that. I feel like G-Bike would be an easy one to throw in.
Oh, G-Bike's so easy.
Just like a little kiddie G-Bike one too, where you're just riding in like the really shitty car that the rest of the team is in.
Where they're on the rails.
Yeah. They're on the rails. That one would have to be there. Let's see. I'll do. Instead of a log ride, it would be a raft ride, like in FF6 when you're doing that raft section in the game where you're running around through the falls.
Oh shit! Oh, there's got to be a whole indoor like crazy ride, sort of like the Jurassic Park ride or Pirates of the Caribbean, just like a little bit more on steroids, where you start in the raft thing, you go in the train thing, all these creatures are coming at you.
Yeah.
You can do a whole section with that FF6 chase.
You could, It'd be good.
I like
Jake
that.
says a boat ride that plays the S-Star theme, so it's like the Small World ride.
Just
Just a different annoying
yeah,
song.
just a different, really annoying thing, and like some like weird techie tunnel.
You gotta have like a big Quinn that kids can take pictures with.
Yeah.
And of course your Tifas.
Yeah, so that the adults can take pictures.
You can. I figured you could just go to Hooters and recruit.
Just scalp employees. The old Hooters scalpers. Yeah. You could do that. Yeah, that would have to be part of the theme park. You'd have to have, the Final Fantasy princes and princesses walking around and doing their thing, greeting, doing like pictures.
It's like really high class cosplay with beautiful people instead of like weird nerdy people that have just taken off their clothes. Yeah, get like the real chiseled motherfuckers to take part. Yeah,
in
the
this.
people who don't even know what Final Fantasy is.
Exactly, they have no idea what they're doing with their day. They
I'm
just
too
are,
beautiful to know what Final Fantasy is.
Yeah, they're just doing it. So that would be part of it.
I got. Oh man,
we'd have to have some fun houses for the kids. What would be a fun little kid ride? Oh, you know what? We could just do the gold saucer. Like we could make that.
Oh yeah, totally. Gold Saucer arcade area.
Yeah, where you can play G-Bike instead of actually riding G-Bike, and then you
Oh,
have
you gotta have the Chocobo racing. I think you gotta do that instead of G-Bike.
You think so?
Yeah, maybe
Or you
both.
ride like a
Maybe both, where they're like both really the same ride, but one is Chocobos and one is G-Bike.
Yeah. Oh, it would be. I would have to have like a Chocobo / Beast carousel ride too. So you have like
You're going to have you're going to have an epileptic seizure in the Chocobo one.
yeah, probably because
All
it's
the
kind of crazy.
Colors and the
Yeah.
shit. Sorry, go ahead.
So I think we'd have a couple little carousels. One with like You can ride like Jesus Christ, losing my voice there. Toneberries.
There's got to be some summons too.
Bombs, stuff like that. Yeah, what would we do for a summon ride? What would?
Oh, I got a stunt spectacular sort of thing, or or like a show. You know, those live shows like Fear Factor and shit like that they have in Universal Studios. You would have to do it where you're going to like you got to defeat Ifrit in your seed in the seed test, and that'd be like a live show with a lot of fire and shit.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Right.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
You put on the 3D glasses, and it's like the Terminator 2. I don't know why they called it a ride, because you just sat there and watched things happen, but you know, like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Now I'm kind of happy. Now I'm excited. Now this is never going to happen.
Yeah. And then just a bunch of roller coasters that are really cool with like Final Fantasy themes and stuff.
Yeah,
We
I
do
remember
Space Mountain.
Universal Studios used to have in Florida. They used to have a roller coaster that was like the Twin Dragon roller coaster. Then when they made the Harry Potter park, they took the same ride and just kind of like repainted it so that the dragons were Harry Potter dragons, and now it's the same exact ride.
Oh,
So you can take a similar concept there. You can make a roller coaster into like Bahamut Zero or something. That'd be a good name for a ride right there.
Bahamut Zero? Yeah.
Let's get on the Bahamut Zero.
That does sound like a fun ride. You
Yeah.
know, like a nice thrill.
This is a really good question.
Yeah, and then we have like those like shuriken looking rides at like Lagoon. I can't remember what
you
it's
spin
called.
around and
yeah,
shit?
where it spins in like 7 different directions.
Got
We
it.
could do that one as the Cyan. You know.
Oh, that's good.
We could run this place.
Yeah.
we could run this.
We
place.
got
Just
this.
give us like
Give us a shitload of money.
give us like $50 million, and we can probably make this theme park work. And
some people will come.
It's right. Some select few individuals will come. What we'd have to do is we'd have to combo it with another park, like another big park.
I mean, they are stupid enough to make like a $120 million movie.
Yeah, why not? Why not give that to us and we make a theme park?
Theme
you know?
parks stay around, and as long as they're run well and clean, people will keep
I
coming.
can't imagine that 120 million would cover what we need, but you
No.
know, a little more, and they'll actually
Probably
maybe
not.
make a return on investment with this thing. You never know.
Eventually,
Eventually, yeah, they'll make some cash.
as long as they're not leasing the land.
There'd have to be some art exhibits, some like something like the bugs of Final Fantasy, and like where we've got like these like on exhibit as if they were real.
You gotta have like a Nomura gallery with real Nomura pieces.
Yeah.
Yoshitaka Amano. This is for the parents to kind of walk around while their kids are doing shit,
Yeah.
or the people that are scared of roller coasters. Those wimps, they can go around and do other things. Yeah, we got to do this, Schweiss.
Yeah, it's a pretty good
Let's get some
idea.
investors on this.
Yeah, let's do it. I'm sure Tabata would be all about it with his new studio.
I'm sure he would be.
They've got a nice budget to throw around. I'll hit him up after the.
You think Universal will take it as like another section?
I bet you they would. They would be
probably
fine
would.
absorbing it. It'd be a very small section of their park, but they'd be like, fuck it, we'll put it in
Yeah,
there.
we'll put some Final Fantasy characters in this corner.
Yeah, some big tits over here.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
multiple Tifas.
yeah, it's like an army of Tifas.
Dude, you gotta get the lollipop. You know those crazy Disney lollipops?
Yeah,
It's like a Tifa.
a Tifa lollipop.
Tifa lollipop where it's like too big.
Yeah, that'd be pretty sweet.
Two
Yeah.
big circles in the
Yeah.
face.
Oh, it's just her tits. Is that what you're saying?
Well, it's tits and a head.
Oh, okay.
And you gotta.
The head, you can like it's like the nose up though. Like you can't actually see her mouth because it's like real propped up.
Oh my god,
Yeah,
this is amazing.
that would be good. That'd be good.
Yeah, it'd make me happy.
Yeah.
I would find true happiness in this park. What's our next question?
So next up we have it's titled Materia and FF7 remake from Boehner 13. So.
Yeah.
I'm worried about the FF7 remake. Not for the combat directly, and not for the episodic nature, but for the materia system. Having thought way more about this than is probably healthy, I cannot wrap my head around how either A, a minimally changed materia system will work in an action game with AI-controlled party members, at least while we aren't directly controlling them, or B, a completely overhauled materia system can still feel like Final Fantasy VII. I think the system is as important as the story, and it's intertwined within it, but I think they're going to have a tall order to make this work. Would love to hear your ideas on how they might do so.
I mean, stat boosts onto your weapons and stuff. I don't see... You could do that in an action game. It would just slightly alter your stats in that way and give you certain abilities that you can grind out via the materia system. I don't see how it wouldn't work in another... I don't see how it wouldn't work in another thing. It seems like something you could totally do.
Yeah, I think equipping it and stuff, you'd have to set the system up in the menu, which, I mean, of course, RPGs love their menus, right? They love
They
making
do.
it.
That won't be something new.
Like, there's a thing in Tales of Zestiria that tells you how long you've spent in the menu. It's sick. And it was hours in the menu. Like, just...
Don't remind me.
So keep that, remember that, Joe, forever.
I do remember that you had way more time in the menu than I did.
Yeah.
Like, way more.
Yeah. I did play the game longer, though.
I think you did, but...
It was a lot of time. And it's
I
so
wonder
like...
if that was in the episode, because I'd like to hear what it was. Can't remember.
So, like, we know that they love their menus. So you could just go in and, like, you select your weapon, the weapon that you've got equipped, you throw your materia in it. It has actual physical slots for the materia. And you can see them when you're doing battle, and you see the materia
that would be
there.
cool. Yeah, I didn't think about that.
And you can kind of manage what the spell does. So, I mean, if you have an all attached to a fire, the fire will no longer just attack one enemy. It won't cast on one enemy. You can cast it on everybody. I don't see how it wouldn't work, to be honest. They will have to kind of...
It's just an equipment system like any other game, just equipment augmenting.
Yeah, I honestly, it would have to...
I've seen that in
I think one way to make it work really well, instead of having the way you cast spells in like Final Fantasy 15, where you just chuck the orb of whatever the spell is.
grenade.
Yeah, instead your attacks become like imbued with whatever magic you're using. So instead you can do like a big slash that hits like everybody nearby if you have the fire and the all attached, so that it hits everybody. Or if you just have fire attached, you just hit with flame. It's kind of like the gunblade in 8, where you slash and shoot at the same time. Which is stupid.
Really stupid. But
I can't imagine actually trying to do that.
Like if you slice through someone and then shoot, the bullet doesn't even.
Yeah, they're dead already.
Matter.
You're just like
Dead already.
You're just like, die again, scum. Yeah.
This helps me get you through your rib cage faster.
Yeah.
And then you can make it all the way through.
Yeah, there you go. The bullet just has a little exit wound, and you can like weasel your sword through.
Yeah, that's right. It's like a pilot hole when you're doing a screw into hard wood.
Yeah, there you go. So you don't crack. You don't want to crack the rest of their body. You just want to make the.
Oh my God.
You want to keep them intact, other than this one area which you're going to destroy. Yeah, there you go.
That must be what it is. It's a pilot hole.
I don't want to shatter you. I just want to kill you in this one spot. Yeah. So I think it would work. I think it would work okay. I don't see it being much of an issue, to be honest. I think you'd have to apply it a little bit more realistically, and I think my explanation for that is
I'm
fine.
not worried about that. I'm sure they will put it into the game in some way. I mean, I kind of just wish they would leave it alone, but whatever.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter what we want.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't even matter what we think. I remember when an old forum member got real pissed off at
at our not excitement
not so much excitement for the FF7
we had the ISP
remake.
ban, the fucking douchebag.
Yeah, I remember that.
She's like, you guys are lying. You are excited for it. I'm like, Jesus Christ, like, fucking chill. It's like we're gonna play it, I guess, but we don't have to be as excited as you are about it. Like, I don't understand how you can't comprehend why someone wouldn't be excited. You know how many people play the games compared to how many people are alive? Not very many. Not very many at all. So there are a lot of motherfuckers that aren't excited about it at all.
That's true.
Because they don't know.
That's true. I guess you could definitely say that, Schweiss.
Yeah.
It's a very interesting point that you made. So we did get a question about... Shit, where was it? It was the first question asked to us, so it was the bottom up. There you go.
The tech demo?
Yeah, tech demo.
So Chase Sarazlani sent us a tweet saying, there's a tech demo called Agni's Philosophy, which has been rumored to be FF16, though probably not true. What do you think of it, if it were?
Apparently this was to test some technology for the PS4, maybe their new engine or something like that. There's a whole Wikipedia entry on it. It doesn't say whether or not it was a Final Fantasy game, but it was supposed to be inspired by the Final Fantasy-esque worlds. And it wasn't... they said it wasn't a game that they were working on. But
Okay.
let's... I got 2 minutes of the tech demo pulled up, and we can speculate, I guess.
All right, let's take a look at this Agnes Philosophy Final Fantasy
I think
real
I've
time.
heard this name. I'm sure people told me about it. I'm pretty sure I never saw it. Square Enix needs to stop doing the tech demos that they give out to the public, because all that makes is fans go, "What is it?" I can't see that. Schweiss, can you turn it this
sorry.
way?
Hear me, mighty servant.
Ooh,
With an offering of light
Middle
and
Eastern
darkness,
Final Fantasy
do I
look
invoke
here.
The ancient pact of binding.
Prince of Fantasy.
Once more, the wicked stand before us, threatening the sacred communion between your realm and mine.
Okay, so a very angry fanatic figure.
Time-torn rift shall our power rage forth and rain down destruction. Navrith is here.
So is this to show how many particles they can put on the screen?
Yeah. It's looking like a Parasite Eve looking thing there.
And we got ISIS coming in.
Yeah, shutting it down. That's great. Oh, but they don't stand a chance against magic hands.
Oh man. Some bloody teeth. He gives her a crystal and she runs for it.
She kind of,
She's in that village from Project A.
yeah,
Jackie Chan rolls through.
yeah. She kind of looks like the one chick from 15, just a little bit. The one that like occasionally drops from the sky from her little airship.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Okay, so they injected some beast with some
It's like
shit.
a porcupine dog.
Yeah, and it's coming. So is Isis, though. Isis is coming too.
She got that Final Fantasy 15 drink.
Yeah, the cola. Oh, she poured it on her
Oh,
wound. The
it's a-
elixir.
It's a healing potion. She actually poured it on herself. I think anyway. Looks like she pissed off the gods from Final Fantasy 15.
Yeah, she's bullets are getting
Burn
forced out of her skin. That's kind of cool.
Oh, that's crazy.
Porcupine dogs are coming. Can't heal here.
The Eclipse.
She's summoning something with the crystal, it looks like.
I can't even understand what the hell she just said. Is that a spell, maybe?
Yeah. Alright, so some big beast is falling from the sky. It looks Bahamut-esque, maybe? Nah, it looks terrifying, but
Don't know what it
I feel like
is.
it's going to kill the porcupine dog, so I guess that's a good guy. So we've defeated Isis. We've got...
No, the ISIS just ran by.
yeah, that's true. They just got out of
Defeat
there.
ISIS. Now her dragon is taking her off. Out of Trash Island.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's some speculation that might be early FF16 ideas, maybe.
Well, it might be
This
early ideas, but we'll never know unless they tell us.
I know, isn't that you could have just ended that question with that. I don't know. We'll have to wait till they tell us.
I do think they...
Would that make you excited if they told you that was FF16? Would you be excited for it?
I guess. I mean, it looks interesting, but there's not really a whole lot there to pull from.
See, I'm not that. If that were FF16, I'd be kind of weary.
Yeah, it's like Final Fantasy. In
It's
like
a little bit too.
the 90s, you know?
Yeah. It's a little bit too. It is too Prince of Persia-y for Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't put it past Square for that to actually be their early ideas for FF16. At the same time, I do doubt it.
Yeah.
Do doubt.
Honestly,
that
I
that's
think
FF16.
Square likes to just beat off their tech abilities occasionally, and that's why they come out with these tech demos. I mean, we got the Final Fantasy VII PS3 tech demo, and nothing ever came of that, and nothing ever will, because they weren't planning on remaking Final Fantasy VII. They just wanted to see how good they can make the intro look on the PlayStation 3's graphics.
They had one for FF8 as well during the PS2 era.
Yeah. So I mean, they do these things just to test the new deal and to kind of.
That's
test
true.
the
None of them have
limitations.
turned out to be real, except for FF7, sort of.
Yeah, but I don't think that's
10 years after that.
after that trailer
that
came
demo,
out.
yeah.
The demo. Yeah. So I guess if you want to consider that coming from that tech demo, then fine, you're wrong. But you know, you can think whatever you want. But I don't know. It's an interesting idea, I guess, and it does look impressive, I suppose. But I don't think there's really anything.
It was a
beyond
little
that.
too particle-y for me. It was like a little bit too much hard texture or something with that. I didn't think
Yeah.
it looked that impressive personally.
It's not a great. Yeah, it's not a great looking
don't
entry, I guess. But
I thought the dragon creature was cool, and that's all I got.
yeah, you don't like the porcupine dog.
The porcupine dog was kind of weird.
Yeah, all right, that's fair. That's
I
fair.
guess it doesn't really. I mean, it doesn't matter. If that was FF16, it'd be. I guess they'd be going back to like FF5 plus terrorists.
Yeah, that'd be kind of fun. Yeah, you get to finally defeat terrorist groups instead of being a terrorist group like in 7.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess it would be interesting. The world looks kind of weird. It's like a weird hybrid between Final Fantasy and reality. So that would be kind of fun.
There's a little bit of Nier Automata trashness to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. that's-
Post-apocalyptic,
Yeah,
kind of in
maybe.
that zone.
Okay, well, those are our questions. We do have, I believe we have a new iTunes review from Great Britain that I've pulled up. So let's get into some of that. Tired?
Yes, actually, yes. I really hope we haven't read this one already.
Well, check. Is our old iTunes review still up on the desktop from last time?
You know, I bet you it probably is. I just need to
Yeah.
look.
Yeah. Is there any from the UK? That's my question.
Fuck.
This is killing me.
I don't see Jack on here, honestly. I think we might have deleted him. I think I did delete him afterwards.
You know what? Part of me thinks that we have read this one. Now I'm scared.
Well, what is it titled?
It's called All I've Ever Needed from an FF Podcast by Bittertooth.
Dude,
It says Q questionable British accent. I'm wondering if we did that one.
I have no idea. Just
This
do
is
it.
destroying me. I don't want to do it twice if we've done it before.
Our memories are trash.
They are trash. They're
a fucking-
absolutely trash.
That's a problem. It's bad.
Tell you what, Bittertooth, I will check the date next time we can actually get iTunes and to work.
Yeah.
And if we did read it, then thank you. And if we didn't read it, we'll do it later.
Then thank you anyway. Yeah.
Thank you anyway. I appreciate
We'll
that.
we'll assume that it is a review, so we won't make you listen to the no reviews song. So that's our confusion. Will give you at least that.
Yeah, there you go. But yeah, that's a good reminder for guys to go on and guys and gals. Sorry,
Of course, yeah.
and anything in between.
That's right.
To go
yeah.
on and please give us some love on the iTunes, and next time we have iTunes, we'll check the dates.
Yeah,
and we'll make sure that we didn't read it before.
And if you don't use iTunes, you can send us a review on Stitcher. We got a couple negative ones on there that we need to wash out with some positive. So if you use Google Plus or something like that, or Google Play or whatever it is,
that's good.
go ahead and go there if you want to leave us a review. If not, it's fine.
Schweiss, we got you got a question from us, too.
Do we actually have one, though? You got it?
Yeah, I got a question.
Okay, all right. If you got it, then we'll do it.
All right. So we're probably going to be talking to maybe one or two listeners out in the audience. But there has to be at least someone out there who has read through livestream.net the kids... shit.
Lateral biography.
Lateral biography.
Turks. The kids are all right.
Someone has had to have read that as well. And we'll definitely 100% have that read by next week.
Yeah.
And so if you totally finished, by the way, after it'll be 3 parts. It'll be totally finished. We'll be done with that book. And we'll be moving on to the FF10 book after that, by the way. So anyway, if you have read, and listen to me, if you have read at all, you may not even be a person who wants to get on the forum. I don't care. If you read this thing at all, we need to hear your thoughts on Lateral Biography Turks. The kids are all right. So you can do that by going onto our forum. Listen, if you're one of the 2 people that aren't on the forum, we do have an email. If you want to send us an email with the review, that'll be fine. fffanatics123@gmail.com.
Yeah, you can use the contact link on the forum as well if you want to go that route.
Yeah, you can do that, and you can tweet us because look, we know that not many of you have read this, or if this will be a good excuse to give you a week to read it to give us your review because we got to hear from some other people what the hell they think of this.
Yeah, we can't be
book.
Yeah. We need to know, guys. The altering opinions is kind of what makes it fun.
So please give us your opinions on that. But otherwise, Schweiss, I think we're done. I think we're done here today. Please go check out our other shows, though, if you haven't. Nude Clan. It's a great place, or a great show. It's a video game podcast. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Puff Hour has just reviewed Dragon Quest V. And that review will be out soon, so go check out Puff Hour at Dragon Quest Podcast. Neither me or Schweiss are on there, but our guest host occasionally, Caleb Craig, he's one of the main hosts on that show, so you can go enjoy that.
Yeah.
If you like Godzilla, I got a Godzilla podcast. And if you like Game of Thrones, Schweiss is going to be releasing a Game of Thrones podcast.
Yeah, a song of Schweiss and Johnson is what it's going to be called.
Oh, that one's tough.
Yeah. I'm going to put in there a Game of Thrones podcast as well, so it'll be like the title.
Let's talk about that.
Nah.
How long have you thought about this?
About the name?
Yeah.
Well, like, what else would we do it? What else would you put?
A game I don't know. Fucking winter is coming. And
I'm sure that's taken.
You could do the porn version of coming.
Yeah,
Change the
maybe.
spelling.
I don't know. Stolas had a really good one. It was Sansa's wedding night. That's a name for the podcast. That would be pretty fucking hilarious. But
that's dark.
It is, yeah.
That's real dark.
It's a dark show. So
yeah, you could just like name a Game of Thrones thing. A Song of Schweiss and Johnson. A Song of Schweiss and Johnson. Bleh. Hard to say, first off, for anyone. Even Mr. Schweiss or Mr. Johnson, I'm sure they're going to have problems with that. Definitely more of a subtitle than a title.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just my 2 cents. You can name it whatever the fuck you want because it's your show. Obviously. What did Craig say?
I was thinking about that the other day. He said, I'll take 2 chickens podcast.
I'll take 2 chickens.
Yeah. That'd be a good name.
I'll take two chickens, a Song of Schweiss and Johnson, a Game of Thrones podcast.
Yeah, that's a really fucking long name, though.
Only one thing. Well, only one part of that is the title.
Okay, that's fair. Well, I'll think of something else and then add the Song of Swords.
But if you're, it's on the Patreon page though. The first episode.
It is, and I'm gonna be releasing it on iTunes soon. I need to get it submitted so that they can approve it and whatnot. So stay tuned for that, and that'll be fun.
Yeah, that's cool. Anyways, guys, that's it.
Yeah, we will see you guys again next week, and I hopefully will have played Vagrant Story by then.
Enjoy
the grind.
Find out more at geekdomentertainment.com.
The beef one, whose label is gone now, over here, which is naturally Warrior of Light. And then we've got the shrimp one, which is, of course, none other than Lightning, a very shrimpy tasting woman, as we all know. And soon we will know even more. So that's what we're chilling, waiting for. So although, you know what, they probably couldn't hear anything I was saying because I didn't have my mic out. I'm used to streaming with that Rode mic over there. So, oh no, they did. Yeah, so stay tuned for that. Yeah. In the meantime, I guess I could give them the. Yeah, I've used that thing a long time. No, I was thinking. This. There we go. You want to leave that on there? Yeah. I guess. You're up on the table. It's a little hole here. It's I do. Most interesting cat. I prefer her. Brian. So what I do when he dies, it's on the mountain. You don't mount him on the back of a couch?
It's now rotting out. Man, it doesn't work. Oh shit, we're recording this. Hi.
I was just gonna let you go.
Great guy.
Great guy, best guy.
No one makes guys like that. Wait, how are you recording this? We have the Zoom unplugged. Using such external mic, which is extremely capable of catching all things shitting on friends. Happy birthday! You can't use it.
Oh, it's boiling, man. Okay. Where's our noodle cups? You got a timer on your phone? Or should I do mine? Let's see. I just don't dig it. Get some bowls and some forks when we pull this out. Okay.
We're not just gonna share.
Now with your mono.
Probably a carrier for his mouth.
All your girlfriends
That's a
have
good. No.
cold sores?
Only one of them did.
All right.
That's a good detail for the.
It doesn't matter. A lot
I
of
guess
people
it's
have
true.
cold sores.
That's a shitload of
Okay.
videos.
So we got our cup noodles open. Schweiss, could you pull the flatbacks there?
Yeah, I'll peel
Wow.
that. I'll peel lightning right on back.
Actually,
yeah.
you know what? I'm gonna burn your hand off here if I.
You know what? Go for it. Just I'll. Oh shit.
That's what I was talking about. Fuck.
Let's just do it over the sink. That's why the. Oh, fuck. Okay. That's.
Do you want to just do this? I can't. It's holding the zoom at the same time. That's the
Yeah,
problem.
I can do it.
Okay, he's pouring the water.
Oh! Oh!
Burning boiling hot water onto his hands because he's too impatient. Slowly.
Hey, well, it's not about. It's not
okay.
about
Yeah,
patience.
you're past the line. Don't.
It's about trying to get it to the point where it's not sliding off, but I poured a little bit too much, and now I can't feel my hand. Okay, we're pouring it into Lightning's shrimp here.
Fuck, dude.
This is horrible. This is hell.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
I don't know if we're gonna have enough for old Cloudo. Fuck.
Ah.
Oh man, that hurt.
You think the water's... Yeah, just go ahead. Just a little bit, just to get it over the noodle line.
We gotta get it as hot as the sink will allow, and then just fill her up.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's good.
Cloudo.
All right, now we leave them for 3 minutes, so I'm going to turn on the timer. 3, 0, 0. Timer on, 2:59. I'm going to go ahead and put the zoom so you can hear it cook. You probably won't hear jack shit.
Oh, no, I totally did. I'll go get it.
It's recording over there, by the way. So don't say anything racist.
Also, a little bit of bonus content here. The pre-gaming of green bean casserole. So, stay tuned for that. Not to be confused with the silent ramen.
Oh, one more minute.
Hey, Bruce, welcome. You know, I wanted to use the fucking little, what is that thing called? The pot that I use to boil water in, but it's got some buildup, I'm sure. The kettle. Kettle. That's the word.
It probably would have been fine. Probably wouldn't have burned your hand off pouring
Probably
it.
not, yeah. It's actually kind of hard to burn.
14, 13, 12, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 3, 2. Oh, there it is. Let's turn that baby off.
We hope you've enjoyed this production.
Did you just have the one bowl? Where's the second bowl?
No, we're gonna share a bowl.
We had to separate containers. We had to share a bowl.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just barely washed those.
I know. There's only one on the top shelf. I didn't look elsewhere.
Okay.
Bring in
Alright.
the cup noodle.
Oh, you want to bring it in onto the table? Okay.
Yeah, fuck it. Shrimp goes last.
Just so you ruin your day. I'm gonna have shrimp first.
You know what? If we're gonna do it, we gotta do both of them at the same time.
Okay, hold on.
So we'll do shrimp first.
I'm gonna plug this. I'm gonna